Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another Fed League Flash video. Today, I just want to do something kind of fun, something very simple. And keep in mind, this is totally my opinion. All right, this isn't choosing a best player, but this is choosing my favorite player from each team this past season. And I'll give you a little bit of a reason why. Some of these players are more well known than others, but I just want to go through this and we'll start off with the top two, kind of move my way down here. And so, let's start off. All right. Monroe. It's Ben Stefanini, as I called him Bayou Ben. Um, this guy just was kind of a spark plug. He was just an energy guy, and I love that about his game. I just love that it seemed like he really got uh, his teammates fired up. There are players on every team that get fans fired up. Um, in that case, with Monroe, it'd probably be Seth Bacon. But as far as just getting the teammates really into the game, Ben Stefanini was the guy. And when he got on the scoreboard, it just seemed to energize the whole team. I'm not sure what it was exactly, but again, just really, really liked his game. Okay, for the Athens Rock Lobsters, yeah, I'm going with Kason Gallant. Here's a guy that he didn't come out of nowhere. I mean, played major junior, but um, I don't think anybody expected him to do what he did this past year, coming in as rookie, leading the league in scoring with goals, and great on the power play. Really, really good hands. Just had a good knack as far as being in the right place at the right time. Um, he was kind of like the guy I couldn't help but root for, especially when the other team would be going shorthanded and it's an Athens power play. I was looking for Gallant. Now he was usually in that slot, the bumper position, but not always. He could score from just about anywhere. Really like that. So yeah, Kason Gallant is my Athens choice. Moving down the list for the Zidico, we had Tyler Larwood. Larwood was one of these 200-foot guys. And what I mean by that is, yeah, he could score. He could get you a big goal in a big moment, but he also played very, very well defensively in his own end. He could play in any situation, shorthanded, on the power play. It didn't matter. It seemed like anytime there was a key moment to the game, Larwood was on the ice, and I just really liked his overall game. Made me a fan. For the Bobcats, Hunter Vrostic. I have a few goalies on this list. Yeah, I've always had an affinity for goalies, so. But for the Bobcats, Vrostic, I really felt like he got the team fired up, and I felt like he's the one that kind of got the Bobcats on a roll this year and into the position where they could make the playoffs. Um, as the team played along the year, I felt like they learned how to play better together, but I really felt that Vrostic gave them every opportunity to win in the early part of the year and, really carried them. And I think he earned his call up. So whether we see him back in the Fed or not, I don't know, but I really, really enjoyed Vorostic's game. 17, 10, and 2, 291 goals against, uh, 3 shutouts, and 6 assists. He had 6 assists. He knew how to handle the puck. Um, but yeah, so I really enjoyed Vorostic's game. All right, next for the Mississippi Seawolves, now the Biloxi Breakers. Dalton Anderson, really, I felt like he was really one of the most underrated guys in the Fed. I mean, um, the guy could score 18 goals on the year. He really carried the team offensively through the first half of the year. The team struggled offensively all year, but it seemed like Dalton Anderson was always able to find a way of putting the puck in the net. And I really don't feel like he got a lot of credit. He's kind of an underdog guy. So, and yeah, everybody likes underdogs, right? At least I do. So, Anderson was my choice for that. For Carolina, and I know there were a lot of eye rolls and grumblings as I saw that, but I really do. I love Jacob Schnapp's game, and I'm going to go in the most detail of any player with him. All right, I'll tell you why I like Jacob Schnapp. All right, there was a game 2 seasons ago. Carolina was playing in Binghamton, and I was watching this game live. Carolina ended up in a shorthanded 5-on-3 situation. They had two guys in the box for just about the full 2 minutes. And one was a double minor. So you really had a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes, or just about 2 minutes. It was like a minute 50. And then another full 2 minutes. Jacob Schnapp was on the ice defensively for almost the entire 4 minutes. It was 3.5 minutes. All right. On the play, he blocked a shot, broke his stick, dropped the stick. Now, mind you, there's only 3 Carolina Thunderbirds on the ice at this point. Schnapp is out there without a stick, still blocking shots. He blocked 3 shots. All right. Stayed out there the entire time. Once he was finally able to get a new twig, cleared the puck out. 4 minutes passed. Binghamton did not score. And that just really spoke volumes to me as far as his grit and his determination. I know his primary role is to be that agitator and kind of be the guy that gets under your skin. But Schnapp's defensive game is incredible, especially for a forward. And I love that. That 3.5 minute shift really turned me on to his game, and I've been watching him very closely ever since. Love Jacob Schnapp. All right, the next two. Yusuke Jumanji. Now, I admit, at first, the reason why I kind of liked him was just because of the name. Yeah, Jumanji. I just thought. I remember it was like July, and the Dashers had signed him, and I made the comment something about, when Jumanji scores, it's going to be hell for the other team. The Jumanji movie. But I really loved how he worked really hard. He wasn't the best player on the ice, but he was the hardest worker. And he just had such a joy about him, such a passion for the game. Uh, he was a teammate's teammate, always looking out for the other guys, always, holding up his teammates. In the locker room, his attitude was just infectious. It really was. And I loved it. And I loved when, towards the end of the year, he kind of started getting his footing and started putting a few pucks in the net. I just love that. I had the opportunity to meet him, and huge smile. Loved it. So yeah, Jumanji. He was my favorite Dasher. All right, for the Binghamton Black Bears, Connor McAnanima. Again, like I said, I have an affinity for goalies. And the thing that sticks out in my mind regarding Connor McAnanima is that he can give up a bad goal, and he just seems to kind of go inside his head, sorts everything out, and just comes out with such determination and kind of like that mental fortitude is just off the charts. if he gives up one bad goal, he's not going to give up two. And that's, one of the things that I love in a goalie, seeing someone who just has that mental fortitude. Um, it plays pretty darn well as well. So yeah, he's one of my favorites. Um, 30 wins, four shutouts in the regular season, four shutouts in the playoffs. That was unreal. Just loved watching McAnanama play. All right, getting lower down on the board. All right, Columbus River Dragons. Of course, he started the year with the Baton Rouge Zidico. Brody Thornton, um, great career in college, Adrian College. Very talented individual. Obviously, is a great skater. Really handles the puck well. But a great sense of humor. Yeah, anybody who has the guts to do the Brandon Tana, yeah, for his photo shoot. Yeah, you gotta love somebody like that. Thornton, he earned a call up to the SP, and after he came down, Baton Rouge traded him to Columbus. He was able to continue playing on there, and I really felt like he helped solidify a defense that struggled at times. Some games Columbus looked great, and other games it was tough. And I felt like Thornton really helped stabilize everything once he got traded. Hope to see him playing, whether it's here in the Fed or in the SP next year. Hope to be able to watch him. Trevor Graspy for the Watertown Wolves. Here's a guy that just sees the ice so well. Um, I'm not comparing him to Wayne Gretzky, but I'm just using this as an example. Wayne Gretzky, one of the things that made Gretzky great was that he saw everything happen on the ice and he could anticipate what his teammates were doing. Graspy is able to do the same thing. He knows when he should be handling the puck, when he should dish it off, um, when he should shoot. But leading the league in assists, that takes talent. It's not just luck. You've got to be able to recognize on the ice who your open teammate is and when to get the puck to them. So Graspy is very gifted in that area, and so I just loved watching his playmaking abilities. A lot of playmakers in the Fed, but Graspy just really seemed to have a special gift. By the way, as far as how I had these teams in the order, I don't know. I just kind of randomly went through and, but anyway, Motor City, Rico Suave, Ricardo Gonzalez. What an incredible year! Here it was a goaltender. I really felt like both he and Parker Rutherford for the Dashers. Those were the two goaltenders that, okay, you're not on the best team, but you can still steal a game for your team. And Gonzalez did that a lot, saving 60 plus shots a couple of times. It just seemed like Gonzalez was able to keep his team in the game no matter what. And I kind of felt like Gonzalez was the guy that if he's in net, you've got a good chance. So I'm really curious to see what he's going to be doing with PD. Of course, he just got traded. Friday morning from Monroe to PD, and I think that's an excellent pickup for the Ice Cats. Speaking of goalies, Raul Sharma. This guy just charmed the league. From the moment that he took the ice for the first time against Watertown, he ended up coming in at a point where the Venom just could not buy themselves a win. And Sharma came in and made the team competitive again. But he just enjoyed playing. You could tell that he was just in awe of his opportunity to be playing professional hockey. Everywhere he went, there was like a smile permanently plastered on his face, and I love that. A goalie is usually going to play their best when they're enjoying themselves, when they're not so focused on this and that and worrying about mechanics and their place in the standings and all that kind of stuff. When they're just playing for the love of the game, that's usually when a goaltender is going to shine. And Sharma did that. He had some rough outings, and despite that, he still had such a wonderful joy. Uh, as far as playing and being a part of the game. So he was my choice for the Venom. For the Prowlers, Lucas Lackney, the only regret that I have with him is that we didn't see more of him in the Fed. This guy, he was the X factor for the Prowlers, and he added so much offensive depth and dimension to the team. The Prowlers instantly became a better team when Lackney joined them. Um, just incredible performance. I mean, 47 points in 30 games. Um, Obviously, a well-earned call-up. And amazing hands. There's a reason why he was playing um, at a high level overseas before coming to the Fed. So, the Prowlers really picked up a gem when Lackney joined them. And I just loved watching him. He was just so smooth on the ice. Seemed like everything was just so effortless for him. But very, very graceful as a player. And then the last person we've got to talk to, I have kind of jokingly said, and when I say jokingly, I don't mean haha jokingly, it's kind of offhanded, but with sincerity, the prince of the FPHL, Johnny Ruiz. The guy just plays the game the right way. Everything that he does, the way he leads his team, the way he leads on the ice, even with the opposing players. He's just a natural born leader and very gracious, very humble guy. Um, just loves playing. He's such an amazing talent, but beyond just being talented, he's just so fantastic with being a human being and really being a wonderful representative of the FPHL. He's the guy you want as your poster child. If you were to pick just one person to be on an EA Sports Fed version, Johnny Ruiz would be the guy. And I just loved watching him play. I hope he comes back for one more year. I'm not ready to see him retire yet. I That's selfish of me to say. Obviously, he's got a life that he's got to live. He's got a lot of things to consider, a lot of responsibilities in life. But I hope Ruiz makes it back for one more year. I really, really do. I feel like whenever he retires, it's going to be a big loss for the league. And the league is this is a person that I would put in a Fed Hall of Fame. So anyway, there you go. There are my favorite players from each team from this last year. Again, just something fun to do, something nice, and I just wanted to kind of highlight these guys. I feel like all 14 of these guys, in their own personal way, represent the very best parts of the FPHL. So there you go. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the Venom, what happened this last year, and how things ended. We'll get into that. All right. So tune in for that tomorrow. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and make sure you're following me on Facebook and on the Flash Audio Network as well. All right, I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Have a wonderful day.